attend the industry exposition or exhibition, especially which is held in overseas, and a lot of players who are interested in that market or in that product may attend that exposition, and that's the place where a lot of market information and also the competitor informations are exchanged in that exposition. So you may attend the relevant exposition to get the competitors' trends. The information values you may get from those external and internal data analysis from the secondary sources may be very low, but it does not take a lot of time and energy or resources to access those data. But in case of the interview and site visit of the customers and competitors, and also attending the relevant exposition, you may get a lot of valuable information from those sources, but it takes a lot of time and energy and money to collect the data from those sources. So my recommendation is that try to use all those 5 different ways of collecting the data, but considering your constraint of your resources or your time, you may keep the balance in choosing the ways of collecting the data. So if you don't have a lot of time and start and focus on analyzing the secondary informations and specifically and try to use those site visits or participating in the exposition very selectively, or if you want to if you have a lot of time and your resources are enough, and then you can focus on leveraging those 5 different sources at the same time. You can use all those 5 different ways to collect the data. Those are the examples of the competitors analysis. So as I have introduced earlier, first the thing we have to do is that identifying major competitors of our company, and then collecting the data using a lot of various methods about their trends, and then we can assess the competition, degree of the competition among the competitors in the market. So let's assume we have collected a lot of data about the competitors. Now those are the summary of our analysis. So if you look at this slide, in each of the 4 different business sectors, we may identify the direct competitor of our business, which might be the company A and company B, and indirect competitor may be identified as company C and D, and potential competitor of our business is company E and F, and based on our analysis, the company A is aggressively conducting big promotion event to the new customer segments, especially new target of the customers in their 20s and 30s. So we may have acquired this data from various ways to collect the data. Maybe from newspapers, maybe from the interview with the customers, or maybe from the market experts. And we also have collected the data about our competitor, direct competitor, company name B. They reduced their suggested retail price recently by 20% to attract price-sensitive potential customers. If you look at those trends of our direct competitor, they are very aggressive in increasing their market share among the existing markets. So we may conclude that competition among the direct investors are very fierce among existing players. So in building our strategy, we have to consider those factors and be very cautious how to overcome such strong competition and attack from direct competitors. We also have to think about recent trends of our indirect competitors, because even though they are delivering the different products of us, they are competing with us in attacking proposing the values to the same identical values to the customers. So for example, number of customer C, they increased recently the number of salespeople significantly in urban areas. So we have to consider those trends of company C. If we want to put more resources in urban areas, inevitably we have to compete with the indirect competitor company C. So we have to consider those factors in developing our business strategies. And based on our competitor analysis, company D have recently introduced new premium products for the customers, especially in their 50s and 60s. And the customers are well responding. So far, their new premium product launch was successful in the target customer of 50s and 60s. So we may get an implication from those data collected that competition from the indirect competitors becomes strong as they have increased investment in the market recently, even though their investment in the market direction is a little bit different. In case of C, they increased number of the salespeople, so they invested a lot in their staff. But in case of the company D, they try to attack their the customer segment of 50s and 60s. So we also identify the potential competitor, company E and company F. And if we look at those dynamics and trends, company E recently acquired a competing company in China. So they recently expanded their businesses in China. And in case of company E, they expanded their production capacity in the existing factory in Europe. So in case of the E, they already have a presence in Europe, and now they expanded their production capacity in those areas. So from the data of the competitors, especially the potential competitors' movement, we may get an implication that competition from the potential competitors is still loose, but we have to be very cautious and be prepared, because they are expanding their businesses to different overseas areas. So the movement of the potential competitors, company E and F, are not threat to us at this point, but we have to be very cautious because they are expanding their businesses. So who knows, in the near future, they are attacking our business areas. So those are the summary and the results of our analysis about the competitors. So once again, I would like to emphasize three things. One is we have to identify our competitors and try to include the potential competitors in our list of in the list of our competitors, because it's not enough we only track the movement of our direct investors in preparing for the competitors' attack on our businesses. And the second thing we have to do is using a lot of different methods. We have to collect the data about competitors' trends. And finally, we also have to decide the degree of the market competition among the players and the implication to us from those movement of the competitors, and use those information in developing our business strategies.